Okay. Oh, there we go. The picture was shaded when it said going live, so I was afraid that was going to be like the how dark the picture was going to be. Anyway, so I'm going to give a couple seconds, minute or so before I actually start. Or actually, what the heck? Why don't I just go ahead and give it a go here? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Tom's Hit Parade. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a different setting. Actually, hang on one second. Let me bring the camera up just a bit. There we go. Now I'm more centered in the frame. Welcome to Tom's Hit Parade. Yes, this is going to be kind of my new format, at least for now. I'm going to be doing the live stream thing, at least for now, because my camera broke. Yes, the same video camera I had been using, the trusty video camera I'd been using for the last 3.5 years since I started this channel way back when, finally decided to stop working properly last weekend, just as I was setting up to do a video, which this video will include some of the stuff I was going to talk about in that video. But yeah, and the camera was actually what, a year and a half, 2 years old already at that point. So yeah, the camera's going on 6 years old. So it was probably going to give up the ghost at some point. So it decided to last weekend. So yes, I was kind of left sitting there with a broken camera, wondering what I was going to do with my channel. And the cool thing about technology nowadays is nearly every one of our little gadgets has a camera in it somewhere, a video camera. So yes, I've got my tablet, which I actually used my tablet to do my shoot, it was album diaries video that I did with Noah a few back when I was visiting him in Oklahoma. We did that on my tablet, and of course on my phone. I use my phone for vlogging when I feel like doing vlog footage and stuff. But neither one of those I didn't really have. Well, I didn't have the time or the energy, and that's something I'll get into in a few minutes here, to properly do a setup over in my usual corner that I do my regular videos in. Hence the non-music related background here that I have. I'm thinking about options for that. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I decided, I started thinking about my webcam. And I thought, the more I thought about it, the further along on that train of thought that I went, I decided maybe this thing is going to work. Maybe the webcam is the right thing to do. Yeah, live streaming, as I said, feels right for time-saving reasons, which is, again, something I'll go into in just a few minutes. I have my notes here on my tablet. So I have to stop every few seconds and see where I am. But one thing that I've noticed is that I like the more conversational feel of live streams, as well as some of the videos that some of my regular YouTube subscriptions do. A lot of videos that don't have a lot of editing. It's a much more natural, organic flow of conversation. They'll stop for a second. They'll, search for words and that kind of thing, just natural pauses in conversation. I kind of like that. And it's something that I think has been missing in my videos. And there's a lot of reasons swimming around in my head, and I've got them all on my tablet, so I'm trying to go over them in order so I don't forget anything. So, but yes, my videos, these live streams will not have the fancy texts and graphics and all that stuff, or the snappy pace of my videos thus far. But honestly, I think the advantages of doing a live stream are worth the trade-off. And I will explain those to you. I'll lay all those out as my tablet is about to go to screensaver mode, and I don't want it to. I've noticed lately that as I just said, I've been enjoying the slower pace and natural flow of YouTubers. And I realized in, being without my camera and considering my options, that that's not the kind of content I've been creating. And it's not, I'm not saying that I was pretending to be someone I'm not, or that I was putting on a character or anything. It's just, excuse me, it's just that the presentation I was making was no longer in line with the vibe that I'm kind of preferring now. I'm kind of liking this, as I said, the conversational things. That's one thing I think that now looking back now, I think that I enjoyed about doing my Lunchtime with Tom live streams. Water break. yeah, it's just I always came away from my live streams feeling a little bit kind of good. Maybe not ecstatic, but I felt good about the stuff I was creating in those, even though a lot of those were just completely pointless and meandering nonsense. But yes, these live streams here, this weekly series that I'm going to do on hopefully Friday nights, is going to be more structured. It's basically going to be like my regular videos. Each one's going to have a topic, and they're going to be about an hour long-ish. Some of them might be shorter than an hour, and sometimes I might miss a week or skip a week for whatever reason. So be prepared for that. And finding my place again in my notes. Why is my throat so dry tonight? Excuse me. But oh yes, burnout is an issue that I've been contending with a little more lately. In the first year and a half or 2.5 years of my channel, I kind of came close to burnout twice, maybe 3 times in all that time. But in the past year of doing my channel, I've felt closer to burnout much more often. And I was in that red zone of burnout for a longer period of time than I had previously been. So, and I think what was getting to me was that doing videos as I had been doing them was in danger of becoming a grind. And I will explain that pretty soon here. And I just said that I plan on these videos being like the regular ones, about an hour long maybe, and I might miss a week here and there. But I was talking a minute ago about the time-saving advantages of doing a live stream, and let me lay that out for you. This was actually one of the things I was going to talk about in my last video, or the one that I was about to film when my camera broke, which is my playlist video. That will be the featured topic for this week's video here. The time-saving advantages of live streaming. Okay. Here's one of those little pauses, awkward pauses in live streams that I don't mind doing. I'm talking and talking, and I like to pause every once in a while, collect my thoughts, possibly try not to derail my train of thought, as it were. And one of the charms of live streams, as I said. Anyway, what I was going to talk about in that last video was the fact that, and you guys might have noticed this, that my output over the last month or so, basically the month of September, has been a lot more sparse, a lot less videos, fewer videos, grammar, than I had been putting out like the 2 months previous. And there's, dang, my throat's dry. And there is a reason for that. And basically, my work disposition has changed. Not necessarily for the better, not necessarily for the worst, just for the different. And the bottom line with that is that it has left me with a lot less time lately for YouTubing than I used to have. And looking back, honestly, I am not sure how I handled doing backtracks as well as all the other videos I would do every month back in the day, pre-pandemic times. And it's kind of weird, especially weird because I'm not necessarily any busier now than I was back then. It's just that I guess over the course of the pandemic, my time management skills have gotten way out of shape. So yes, and this is why live streaming just feels right to me. I've got a good feeling about doing this live stream thing. It is a time saver, as I said. With normal videos, after I did all the filming, I still had the editing to do. And not only did I spend at least a few hours editing each video, I think the least amount of time I ever spent editing a video was 1.5 hours. And sometimes, as you can imagine with my backtracks videos, I would spend a day and a half editing them. Not a solid 36 hours, of course, mind you, but just, the average day and a half I would spend editing those. And I would also struggle during the filming. I would pressure myself for the perfect take of every sentence. I wanted to get every sentence just right. I wanted to have the right energy and the right enunciation of the words and all that stuff. And that was a big stressor for me. I don't think I realized what a big stressor for me it was until my camera broke and I was left to reconsider my avenues for my channel. So it would not be unusual for me to take 2 hours at least to film a 20-minute video. That's how picky I was about getting the right take. And yeah, as I said, that was probably my biggest source of stress, was getting just the right cadence of my sentences and all that stuff, and to present a good, the right energy and all that stuff, and enthusiasm. And not that I'm not enthusiastic about giving you guys content. It's just, it's just sometimes you kind of have to force the energy when you're getting tired, especially when you're extremely picky about getting just the right take in a video. And I did enjoy the editing part also, but as I said, it kind of had started becoming a grind. And that's one reason why I had not put out very many videos over the last month, is because, well, for one reason, finding the time, which I'll continue explaining in a minute, but just I was feeling a sense of intimidation, I guess, getting ready to get in front of the camera. And I don't know if it's just because I've been doing it and when you think about it, 3.5 years is a pretty long time to keep at doing YouTube videos regularly in the same spot, the same setup, and all that stuff. So I guess it's probably not a surprise that I kind of got a little bit, it got a little heavy, I guess you'd say. Just searching my notes again for where I lost my place here. So yes, without the all of the endless retakes and then the editing time, I'm going to be cutting my YouTube's times spent on my YouTubing by probably 2/3 doing these things as live streams. I basically just prepare the notes, I gather whatever props I need, case in point here. I do the stream, and then I'm done. It's up on the interwebs for you guys to enjoy or laugh at. Hopefully you enjoy it. Not that you guys, as I said, not that you guys are not worth the extra time and effort, but because of, as I said, the change in my work situation. It's gotten so that even the things like my laundry that I used to be able to do during the week at quiet times in my work schedule, I have to move my laundry and stuff and other chores to the weekend. So my me time is even more scarce and valuable than it was. So yeah, and I still want to be able to bring you guys fun videos, but they need to be fun for me too. Honestly, hey, if I'm not having fun, if it's a grind, you guys are going to see it in my facial expressions and all that stuff. So, and my content could suffer as a result. YouTube is a hobby for me, first and foremost, a hobby. So the last thing I want it to feel like is work. So that's basically what I'm getting at is, yeah, it's going to be live streaming for the time being. I don't know if it's going to be permanent or not, but if the groove feels right, if the whole live stream thing feels right to me, that may be the thing that I am going to do from now on. So yeah, you may get awkward moments of silence, me stumbling over my words, or you seeing my train of thought derail occasionally. But more importantly, you'll be getting a more natural me. As I said, that organic flow of conversation. There are YouTubers out there that I watch that do not do a lot of editing. They leave, have pauses in between their sentences and all this other stuff. They stop to take drinks of water or something else. So this is water, trust me. So yeah, and it will also indirectly satisfy my low-grade fantasy of having a radio show. And yes, this, there won't be any music on this, obviously, because YouTube won't let me play music. But I've always kind of had a little tiny fantasy in the back of my head about, getting on the radio for a couple hours and playing the music that I like and just, prattling on endlessly about whatever amuses me. So this is the next best thing for me, right? But anyway, so yeah, that's the deal with my live streaming, and I will be doing this. I plan to do this every Friday night at 8 o'clock Pacific time. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you tune in and watch. But yes, as I said, every video, every week we'll have a topic. I'll start out maybe with just blathering on like this. This I was obviously giving you the scenario of what's going to happen, why you're not getting a normal video in front of my corner over there and stuff. But I will probably maybe start out with, I've been thinking about starting out with little things like, I've been brainstorming little tiny topics, getting started topics to kind of warm up into the feature presentation. I've been thinking about a music quote of the week, just a famous quote about music and sharing it with you, and maybe soliciting your thoughts on that quote. I don't have one prepared for now. I just wanted to, I didn't want to clutter it with that stuff. Just want to give you, this is kind of the pilot episode, as I said, and maybe possibly a song of the week that I've, just a song that's on my mind at random every week, or maybe a stream of the week, an album that I have streamed that I enjoyed. I would offer one today. It's actually a very good friend of a very good friend, but I've only listened to about half of it, so I don't want to give a premature verdict on it, even though what I've heard of it good is so far is really good. So maybe I'll have that as my stream of the week in next week's video. But anyway, as I was saying, prepare the notes again. I intend for these videos to be like regular videos. As I said, probably an hour long, sometimes shorter, with a central topic and maybe other stuff. Maybe opening up the floor, as it were, to questions. You guys can always, feel free to live chat at your will. I might ignore it at least for a certain amount of the video, but I will try to get back to it before the end of the video. And I'm also thinking about the regular bits every week. And of course, I might take a week off every now and then. Holidays, obviously we all need a break every once in a while. But one of the advantages, more than one of the advantages of doing this live stream every week is it will encourage me to give you guys regular videos, regular output on my channel. And hopefully I will be able to get to some subjects that I have been putting off, some things I've been putting off for a long time, trust me. One of them I actually did the first video of, and I'm not sure if it feels right. Speaking of videos not feeling right, this is a funny story. The video that I was going to film last weekend when the camera broke, I had actually filmed in a modified version the weekend before, but it didn't feel right, so I scrapped it. So, and that is, I think, was a symptom of the approaching the burnout that I was talking about. I don't know, this feels like I was getting ready to burn out. So I think my camera breaking was a blessing in disguise. So hopefully this live stream thing will work out. And anyway, yes, a certain topic for each video, as I said. For instance, not only is this the pilot video, but it will also serve as my September playlist video. And so yeah, and also I think this format, this live stream format, is going to work really well for what couple of months of bargain bag that I have left, because then you guys will actually get to see me open the bags live on camera. That's one thing that maybe I should have been doing with, well, actually, I've only been able to live stream for a little over a year anyway, so it wouldn't have worked until then anyway. But yeah, it's probably something maybe I should have been doing bargain bag as live streams for as long as I could have been doing them. So, but hey, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But so yes, those are the end of my notes. Thank goodness, because you guys are probably tired of me looking aside from the camera as I lose control of my tablet and it's doing things I didn't want it to do. But anyway, so sorry, I got to prepare one more thing. Yes, consider this a break before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video here. So anyway, yes, a playlist video. And this will be an abbreviated playlist. It's only 10 items, 5 CDs and 5 LPs. I did not listen to any cassettes over the past month. Well, month and a week now, 5 weeks, just because of my change in work schedule and all that stuff. So my cassette player has gone woefully neglected for these past 35-ish days. But anyway, I thought I'd go over the move the keyboard here so I can put these right in front of me. Do the CDs first. And yes, it's, as I said, 5 CDs and 5 LPs that I listened to over the past month. A couple of these are ones that you will remember seeing in my crawl and haul video, because some of these are things I brought home from Oklahoma. First one is People and Things by Jack's Mannequin. And this is one of the biggest highlights from all the stuff that I've listened to so far, from the stuff that I brought back from Oklahoma. I was about to say Portland. I'm actually going up to Portland tomorrow. Quick little day trip. Haven't decided if I'm going to vlog or not, but we'll find out. But yes, Jack's Mannequin, People and Things. This is a very fun album. Lots of great hooks, and it is kind of radio friendly, which might make it seem not as substantial as maybe some of Andrew McMahon's other work, but some great stuff in here. Amy I is one of the songs that really caught my ear. The beat in the verses on that song is just fantastic. But I don't think I could find, there's not really a song on here that I was unhappy with. But yeah, trying to stop keep the glare off from the cover. But yeah, People and Things by Jack's Mannequin. I would recommend that for anybody who likes singer-songwriter indie rock kind of stuff. So, and then this one is probably one that a lot of you guys have never heard of. It's a group called Atomic Tom. Since they had the name Tom in it, I had to pick it up. And this was actually one that I had a long time ago, and in a space-saving CD crunch, I got rid of it. And in re-listening to it, I was foolish to have gotten rid of it. Some great songs on here. The big hit that was their hit single from this is called "Take Me Out." Great, and they did a great YouTube video out of that. The gimmick was it made it look like it was genuine, but it was actually just a gimmick that they had lost their instruments, and so they did it on smartphone-based instruments on a subway train. So it was basically a live performance video. So that was a very clever video. And another one of the real big highlights on this album is the ballad "Maybe I'm Wrong." Fantastic song on that. Those are the two highlights from this album. But yeah, great indie rock from a great band that, as I recall, that is the only album they ever put out. I guess they disbanded shortly after. Then we have another one that I picked up in Portland, a singer-songwriter named Mutlu. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And I believe he is Turkish. I think, if I recall correctly, Mutlu is a Turkish name. Great stuff. And he kind of reminds me of, and I kind of got the feeling when I saw the CD in the store. This was at, not Josie, it was Guest Room Records. That was where I found it for $1. Can't beat the price. But yeah, when I saw this, I had never heard of the guy before. But yeah, I saw it in the bargain section for $1. He gave me a vibe of another soul singer-songwriter named Raul Midon. Took me a minute, but I found his name. Soul funk with a little bit of jazz twist. And it turns out I was right. My instinct was right. This is a great album. Daryl Hall, G Love, Amos Lee, and Raheem Devon guest star on this album. And it's just a great selection of songs. The title track "Live in It" was great. And Upside was another really good song. And Mama's Not Coming Home, that was a really sad song. So break out the tissues when that song hits the track list. But yeah, bunch of great songs. If you like soul R&B with maybe a little bit of blues in it, check out Mutlu if you can. I don't know if he's on streaming or not. And then excuse me, where did I find this one? I think I found it up in Portland, actually. Cass County by Don Henley, his most recent album. This was the only Don Henley album that I did not have. Great stuff. This was I found it up in Portland. It's the deluxe edition. It has 18 tracks on it, so it's not a short album. But yeah, my sister was a huge fan of the Eagles, and so she's always loved Don Henley. She had 3 of his CDs in her CD collection that I inherited, so I figured I had to add to the collection. And I had actually not picked this one up for a long time. Not for any particular reason. I guess it just never occurred to me to pick it up. But yeah, excellent stuff. And this was one of them that I listened to early on in September, so I would not be able to name you any good tracks. Suffice to say, they're all good. Really enjoyed this one. If you like any of Don Henley's previous albums, you're going to like that one. And then this one, I actually just recently picked up at Epic Seconds. It was in the $1 section. And I actually got it for 25 cents because their 4 for $1 section was, I actually haven't told you guys that yet. Yes, they had this was another thing I was going to do, talk about in the video, but I don't want to, I'll stop talking about that because I don't want to, I don't want to talk about what I was going to talk about so I won't talk about it. Don't worry, you'll get what I mean in an upcoming video, trust me. But anyway, Empire of the Sun. I had heard of these guys, obviously, for quite a while and just never checked out any of their albums. And The cover kind of projected what I was kind of expecting out of them. Cinematic electro rock kind of stuff. Kind of a little bit, well, over the top is not really the right way, but kind of epic, cinematic, I guess you'd say. Yeah, electro rock. And gosh, close to half the songs on here were instrumentals, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, good stuff. I kind of enjoyed them. And yeah, this was their debut album, which was one of the reasons I decided to pick it up. Yeah, good stuff. So I may, when I'm in Portland tomorrow, I might seek out their subsequent albums. So yes, Walking on a Dream is the name of this album. So yes, some of you guys may be familiar with Empire of the Sun. I had never checked them out before, and so I'm glad I did. Yes. Yes, Epic Seconds, I might as well, since I started spoiling it, I'll spoil the rest of this part of it. But yes, Epic Seconds was having a sale on their $1 CDs at 4 for $1. So I got a few of them. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, those are the 5 CDs that I wanted to highlight from my playlist this past month. And now on to the records. We have Rita Coolidge with her album Anytime, Anywhere. I picked up a few Rita Coolidge albums recently. One or two of them were on the freebie shelf. And actually, I think this one might have been on the freebie shelf as well. But yeah, a bunch of good well-known songs. She does covers of well-known songs on here. Your Love Has Lifted Me Higher and Higher, which was... I can't remember who it was that did that song originally and made it famous. So I'm not even going to try and remember. It's nighttime and I work today, so I'm kind of tired, but I wanted to do this video for you guys anyway. So yes, that song and The Way You Do the Things You Do, the Motown classic, is on here as well. And there was another one. Oh, Words, the Bee Gees song. She does a great job on that one. And yeah, I never really appreciated Rita Coolidge back in the day. She is from the late 70s, early 80s. This was the copyright date isn't on here. Interesting. Yeah, it's unusual for the copyright date to not be on the album. I won't waste time by looking for it. Well, maybe I will. It's 1977. Oh, it's an older album than I thought it was. But yes, fun. And I have over the last year or so, I've really started to appreciate Rita Coolidge. Good stuff. I like her. And coming up next is one that was in my crawl and haul from Oklahoma. This was actually courtesy of my man Noah. This was in his cast-offs box, and he let me go through it, and I picked this out. And I scored, not only because it's Billy Joel and because is it my favorite Billy Joel album? I think it might be, or my favorite or my second favorite. And it's also in excellent condition. But yes, when Billy Joel albums come around at House of Records and whatnot, they usually get scooped up pretty fast. So Noah let me have this one for free, as well as several other CDs and records. So thank you, Noah. I really appreciate it. So yeah, An Innocent Man. And if you don't know this album, shame on you. You should know it. This was basically his salute to Motown and doo-wop. So many great songs under this. I think was his most successful album. We have The Longest Time, Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl, and the closing song, Keepin' the Faith, was not quite a Motown or doo-wop song, but it is just as good as all the other stuff on here. I really appreciate Billy Joel. That's one of the things that Noah and I bonded over. Billy Joel is one of his favorite artists of all time. So, so in that respect, he has great taste. Then we have another one from his collection. This is a compilation from KTEL Records, Music Magic. The Hit Sounds of Today. Today being 1978. So yes, we've got Andy Gibb, Player, with their hit song Baby Come Back. Crystal Gayle with Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue. That was her big hit. We have Donna Summer, Diana Ross, Eric Carmen, Foreigner, Bay City Rollers, so the Commodores. It is the hit sounds of today, 1978 today. So yeah, very, very fun album. I don't think I ever had any KTEL compilations until this one. I was taking several other records, and there were only a few ones left, I think was the reason I picked this one. It's like, why leave any of them behind? Go ahead and take them all, since I had to ship stuff home in a box anyway. And so Noah is just endlessly generous and giving like that. So, and I'm going to keep those records for as long as I can, until I'm, you know, the way of the dodo, as they say. Anyway, up next, another hit from the 80s, REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity, their classic album. I can't see, I will eventually at some point do a favorite albums of the 80s countdown, and this is going to be in it. Because, yeah, obviously let's see, the song Keep On Loving You and Take It On the Run, those were their two biggest hits off this album. But there are some underappreciated songs on here. The opening track, Don't Let Him Go, I love that song. That actually might be my favorite song on the album. It's just got a great beat to it, and just the whole song structure is really, really cool. And then In Your Letter, speaking of Billy Joel, In Your Letter is a great tribute to doo-wop and Motown, that kind of stuff. Great stuff. And kind of taking a drink of water. Excuse me. So yes, another wonderful, wonderful album. And yes, Billy Joel. Stuff dropped on the floor, sorry. Innocent Man by Billy Joel will probably also be in my list of favorite 80s albums. Spoiler alert. And so, let's see, we're only just past a half an hour, so this might actually be a shorter video than a 1 hour this time. It's the pilot episode, so hey, what can you do? And I also, my viewers are not around at the moment, so not feeling sorry for myself. Everybody's got stuff to do. Hey, it's Friday night, so everybody's out partying. Foolish of me to do this on a Friday, right? But so yeah, you guys will be able to watch it on the replay. And so yes, I don't have any live chat to reply to, so this may be a shorter video than customary for my new normal, as it is. New normal for the time being. Anyway, my final record, my point, and I do have one, is that my final record for my live stream, my playlist for this month is September of My Years by Frank Sinatra. Yes, a very different selection than the other ones on this list. I was actually going to do a video just about this album because it was in September that I listened to it. And and also Frank Sinatra recorded this album when he was aged 50. And I am currently 50 years old for another month-ish. And so this was kind of a concept album about his, being in the September of his years, in his 50s. And so, yeah, I thought I was going to have thoughts on this album, being 50 myself, the age he was when he recorded it. But by the time I got done listening to it, I didn't have as many thoughts as I thought I was going to have. So I figured I wasn't going to have a video's worth of thoughts to do. So that's why that video never came about. So I thought, but it had to be mentioned in a playlist video at least. But yeah, so let's see. There was a really good, It Was a Very Good Year was the big song off this album. One of his signature songs. And The Man in the Looking Glass. That was a really good one. I really liked that one. Yes, lots of melancholy on this album, introspective kind of songs. As you can kind of tell by the darker color palette of the cover. Nice cover, by the way, don't you think? But anyway, yes, September of My Years by Frank Sinatra. A very good album. It was a very good album. So, just give me 1 second. Had to clean up the mess that I dropped on the floor. So actually, yeah, it's probably a good thing that this video is going to be shorter than usual because my voice is just not in it for the long haul today. So, and 1 second, one thing that I'm going to keep alive, at least for now, is my classic outro. Hey, got to keep something to throw back or connect with my previous videos, right? But anyway, so yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Was next week on my my live stream. That's what I intend to do when I know what's going to be in the following week, which for a while I think I will, because I've got a pretty steady stream of stuff that I want to get taken care of. But anyway, next week on my live stream Friday night is going to be my bargain bag video for September. So, and that's the one. That's what I'm really excited about doing because, as I said, I think that this live stream format is what bargain bag should have been all along. So it'll be fun, lots of fun. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, hit that like button and share it with your friends, and give me your thoughts, questions, suggestions, or constructive criticisms in the comments section below. Also, scroll down to the description for the links to my Twitter and Instagram feeds. I know I'm not quite as active on Instagram lately, haven't been as I usually am, as well as links to my favorite fellow YouTubers who are all worth checking out. All of them. That's right, all of them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well and browse my past videos. And be sure to ring that notifications bell so you'll be the first to know each time I drop a new video. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And remember, life's too short to be a music snob.